Telephobia is the reluctance or fear of making or taking phone calls. Now, I like to put it as this. It is utter bollocks. I don't know how anyone under 35 could be remotely scared of a telephone when they've grown up with one pretty much welded to their bloody hand. Their entire life is spent on this device. Tell me, you can have telegram phobia, you can have pigeon carrier phobia, you can even have dial-up internet phobia, but you can't have phone phobia. It is just bollocks. Do you know what it is? Do you know what it really is? It's not fear of failure. It's not fear of rejection. It's not fear of what other people think. It's fear of how you'll feel about yourself. That is what everything comes down to in sales. How you feel about you. And most people go into sales trying to get their own emotional needs met. They're in it to feel good.
Oh, I feel good.
Well, newsflash, buddy boy. How you feel has sweet F all to do with how you perform. Why do I say that? Well, let me cut to the chase. I trained as a lawyer. Do you think lawyers actually enjoy representing people that have done some pretty heinous things? Murderers, pedophiles, rapists, the sorts of people that society looks down on and spits upon. Do you think they enjoy representing them? Do you think they feel good about it? The answer is, of course they bloody don't. But they do it. Why? Because it is their professional duty to. Why do you think they put on the wig and the gown and they go in? They separate their personal feelings from the job at hand. Surgeons have to do it. Soldiers have to do it. Politicians do it. Lawyers do it. Anyone who's in a profession has to put aside how they feel and get on with the job. This idea that there is a legitimate phobia of the phone is utter nonsense. In order to grow, you need to feel pain. You need to feel discomfort. Any of you watching this, I know young people particularly nowadays are obsessed with how they look with the world of TikTok and Instagram, and they're posing all the time at the gym. Do you know how much it hurts to get a body that looks like that?
I don't know.
You got to push weights that hurt because they got to grow the muscle. There is no growth without pain. So ladies and gentlemen, if you suffer from what I call bollocks, yes, telephone anxiety, this is what you need to do. Suck it up and start doing it. Everything when you first start is scary. Walking was scary. Talking was scary. Jumping was scary. Riding a bike was scary. You do all of these things now without thinking because they become a habit. They become a behavior. So, telephone anxiety, what a loader. You fill in the blanks. And most of you are going to say, Benjamin, I'm not stupid enough to think I have telephone phobia.
Benjamin, I'm not stupid enough to think I have telephone phobia.
But I do find it challenging. I do find it frustrating. And at times I do just not want to do it. First and foremost, that is completely normal. Yeah? Not wanting to prospect is a perfectly normal reaction to prospecting. I hate prospecting. I absolutely hate it. But I'm good at it. I used to prospect Monday to Friday, and it would be 8:30 to 10:30, just 2 hours. And some days I would be sitting there thinking, I don't want to do this. But I also knew that if I didn't do it, I wouldn't make money. And so I had to put aside my feelings and focus on what mattered. And what mattered wasn't how I felt, but what I did. Because what I did would result in the outcomes that fed me and paid me and gave me the lifestyle that I wanted. One of the biggest things that frustrates people when they're prospecting is they decide to set aside a whole day or a whole afternoon. They say, what I'm going to do prospecting this Wednesday. I'm clearing my diary. Wednesday, 1 to 5, I'm going to hit the phones. Within the space of an hour, maybe, they're already feeling dejected and down. And when you start to feel dejected and down, you start to procrastinate, you start to do that. And by the time you get to 5 o'clock, you realize you did nowhere near what you said you were going to do. And that's because there's a lot of pressure put on you when you say, I'm going to spend the next 4 to 5 hours prospecting. I would do 2 hours a day. That was it. 8:30 to 10:30. And I chose 8:30 in the morning to 10:30 in the morning for 2 reasons. One, most gatekeepers don't normally start work till 9. So if you have a problem with gatekeepers, phone companies early. Decision makers always answer a ringing phone. Why? Could be business. That's how they made their money. A ringing phone will be answered by a decision maker first thing in the morning. The other reason is get it out of the way. There's a book called Eat the Frog. It's an expression which basically says, do the horrible thing first. Get it out of the way. Eat the frog. So this is the eat the frog bit of selling. Get it out of the way. Once it's done, it's done. You can get on with the rest of your day. You can do whatever you want from 10:30 onwards. I knew that if I was going to hit my sales targets, I had to get in front of so many people a month. Because if I got in front of so many people a month, I would close so many people a month. So I worked out what would it take for me to ideally get to where I need to be. So you work backwards. And I came up with I needed to talk to 4 decision makers every day. That was 4 CEOs or 4 managing directors or 4 business owners every day, 5 days a week. Because you look at it, if I did 4 a day, that's 20 decision makers a week. That's 80 decision makers a month. If I could not get 8 to 10 meetings from that level of conversation with decision makers, then either 2 things were going wrong. Either what I was saying wasn't hitting home, so I needed to change it, or the content could have been good, it was my delivery that was off. It enabled me to figure out what to tweak, what to change. So what you want to do is figure out for you what your close rate's like when you get in front of people. So how many people do you need to be in front of to close? And if you've got a 40% close rate, you want to get in front of 10 people a month so that you can close, so that you can screw up 6. The beauty of that is you could actually have 4 conversations in the first half an hour. You could be done by 9 a.m. Or it may take you right through to 10:30, but this was the rule. If I got to 10:30 and I hadn't had 4 conversations, I would take a break, but then I would go back. I had to get 4 by the end of the day. So don't think when I said just do 8:30 to 10:30, I mean do 8:30 to 10:30 and achieve nothing. No. You need your 4 calls a day because you need your 20 a week. Then you have to ask yourself, how am I opening the call? Is it something I'm saying? Is it the way that I'm saying it? You see, all of these things can be fixed if you focus on measuring what matters. And lastly, I used to set little traps for myself. In order to get good at something, you need to make it a bit of a game. And I used to get a piece of paper in front of me, and I would draw up a load of squares. And in each square, I had an N, and an N, and an N, and an N. It was the last one, number 50, had a Y. And what that meant was, I set myself a goal. You see, no one likes getting no's. Do you know what I discovered? When you try and get no's, you start to get less. So I made it a game. I had to try and get 49 no's in a row. Now that would be over a month, obviously, not in a 2-hour sitting. But I had to try and get 49 no's. And if I got a yes, if someone agreed to meet with me before I got to that 50th Y out of the 49 N's for no, I had to start right back at the beginning again. Make it a game. Mindset always follows behavior. You cannot say, I will be a good cold caller, I will be a good cold caller, and you become a good cold caller. No, you've got to put in the effort. You've got to work on your pitch. You've got to work on your pattern interrupt. You've got to work on your questioning. You've got to work on your delivery. You've got to work on your structure. And as you get better at it, you do more of it. The more you do, the easier it becomes. Prospecting is the only form of outreach where you are going to learn how to be a good salesman. You cannot learn how to be a good salesman hidden behind a keyboard as a warrior, where you have time to think and edit and change things, or video prospecting. You know, sending videos to people. Yeah, how many takes do you take of that to get it right? You have none of that. Real time, real people, real conversations. This is why I'm so big on telephone prospecting. Not because I'm a sadist who wants you all to suffer miserably. Well, part of me does. But the real reason is because this is the only place you're going to learn to cut your teeth. It's the only place you're going to learn to think fast, to adapt, to overcome.
Are you being shafted? No, I'm not interested. We are fine, thanks. Leave me alone. Have you ever experienced that while prospecting? There you are, diligently phoning in your product or service, and before you get out what you even feel you need to say, they come up with it. We're fine, thanks. We're not interested. Leave me alone. Well, guess what? It's all your fault. Why? I'll tell you why. Most salespeople don't have the first clue as to the purpose of a prospecting call. And if you don't know the purpose, how are you ever going to structure your conversation to get you there? Now, here's a little clue. The purpose isn't getting an appointment. It isn't making a sale. It is not. Those are outcomes. So, what is the purpose? Well, guess what? If you can't figure out the purpose of this advert, then you're never going to figure out the purpose of this call.
That's it. It's over. That's it. Now get out there. Don't let the buggers grind you down. I'm just going to move this laptop. Actually, it's funny. I see this box. I share this with people. It's got on there sales trainer replacements. You see these mugs? I had a load of mugs made, and when the main box came, some were broken and damaged, so they sent me some replacement. I kept this box because when COVID hit, I lost all my clients overnight. I don't think a lot of people know this, right? So I was an in-house trainer, and the moment COVID hit and lockdown hit, I lost all my business, literally overnight. My calendar that was full was empty, and I was sitting there thinking, how do I make money? And I came up with the idea of running telephone prospecting boot camps. Well, anyway, I'd never sat at a laptop and delivered a boot camp before, and I'm sitting at this desk here, ironically. I don't know if you can see that, but that was in the spare room at my house. And the laptop, though, was too low. And I had this box still sitting there. And this box, though, I'm keeping this box. It's got scribbled all over because I've made a load of notes and just comments on it and whatnot. But this box has sat under my laptop for like 4 years. And it's done, I think, from record. Last time I checked, I've done about 80 online boot camps live. And all of them were done on this simple box.
So that box has made a lot of money then.
This box is worth a fortune. In fact, maybe I should raffle it off to someone or make it as a reward. But no, it's just, you look back at life and you wonder where you've been and where you're going. And sometimes you just look back at the very humble beginnings. And it was me, a laptop, and this box. And now, yeah, like I say, I just keep it for. Do you know? I'll show you something now because show you how posh I've got. I now use Joe Malone boxes to sit on. I got one there, and I have another one here, I have another one here, and now my laptop sits on Joe Malone boxes. No, these were a gift actually from someone, and I just like the boxes. But anyway, I thought I'd share that with you. So wherever you are in your career, there are better days ahead, and maybe you have your own box or something similar, and one day you're going to look back on it and smile and think it all began with me, a laptop, and a box. I don't know. Anyway, I hope you like that bit of